Hello, remember this? Let's discuss this gasket and how much grief it can cause you. I've got a pile of these EGR valves piling up. Ethanol gas. Sorry about the messy hair. I had another bad haircut. And I had a very tragic accident. You get to see part of my stitches. See that? I want you to look and see those holes. You see, a Felpro gasket and a factory gasket. That's why you can't see the outside covering is gone. They have an adhesive quality. And then, what I wanted to explain, you see those small pinholes in the body? Down here, down here. See those small pinholes beside of the two big ports? That's a heat transfer. When you get those cheap Fleabay gaskets and some of the sleazier auto parts stores, they don't have those little holes. That is for heat transfer, and that is how your computer knows what amount of fuel to dump in your engine, other than making it guess and getting those misfire codes or catalytic converter codes and or a leak. P0430, I believe it is, that you have a catalyst leak, in P0420. That's telling you your catalyst is bad. Catalyst ain't bad. Not at all. Truck just lost a big part. Okay. That is what I wanted to tell you, is only buy the Felpro or the GM gasket, or you got problems. Because we put one on for a young gentleman. He picked it up, I believe, at an O'Reilly's near Wilkesboro somewhere. Come all the way down here to me, and he says, I might need an engine scanner, this, that, the other thing. I'm like, all right, I'll take care of it. I told him right away. He told me he used it almost 2 weeks now, and the check engine light's back on. And I said, I goddamn to you, it's that gasket. Because I didn't like the looks of it when it came out of the box. And I had, in my beginning days with these Silverados, it was not a fun learning process when you're doing something over, and especially when it looks really nice and you got painted parts. You know, for a little bit of your life like this, you know, you got a little satisfaction. Oh, look at that, and boy, does it really work. No, you got to tear it all back apart, booger things up, and learn the hard way. And that was Uncle Dutch. Again, learning the hard way. Let's cover Fleabay. I ordered rockers for this F-150. It's a nice truck. I don't know what kind of an engine it has. It sounds more like a wash machine. But anyway, I ordered rockers. Where is the? I want to show you the worst one here first. It comes pre-dented in the box, and it's etched. It's got rust all over it. You see that? Inside and out. That's your Fleabay parts. Dented, rusted in the box. You got to see the finish here. This one's all scratched up. It almost looks like Orange Cat's paw prints, only they're not. I just took these out of the box. Right through here. Rust. Bare metal. I mean, these were not embossed, okay, in the primer. They have an embossed zinc lead primer. Primarily why these parts are being made overseas. Well, they have military usages for that, so you're gonna find more of this in a box. And another day I would send them back, but this customer is not that picky. But I mean, just look at this rust. I mean, I don't know how well this camera is going to perceive that, because I got to get back on this Nissan. I have it all apart. But that to me is just uncalled for. It's totally uncalled for, and I'm going to call Fleabay on it. You know, sometimes they say they're going to refund you a couple of bucks. If you look at the condition of the box over here, which this is the red flag. I always get a red flag. I know this is a mess. I clean up. This box has been taped together several times, back together. Somebody returned those. Look at that one. Scratches, dents. You see, I throw better stuff than that away. There is the great orange menace. Shall we tell him the stupid thing Dad did to get himself some stitches? I got a humdinger there. My tractor and I, as it was getting dusk here last Tuesday, not this Tuesday, that's why I haven't been doing much YouTube. I was hobbling around on crutches for a while. But anyway, I was cleaning up dollar store trash. You see, I am anal about cleanup. Every now and then my workspace like this gets a little polluted. I don't appreciate it, doing it to myself, but it's in the effort of getting something done for the customer. And in this case, this is a family member. That belongs to the wicked witch of the family. And I do not want to be turned into a frog or some other ugly little creature. I'm already bad enough the way I am. So my tractor has a 2-speed axle. If you ever saw the Craftsman, the YT6000, YT5000, they got your regular shifter up in the middle, and it's a manual shift, okay? Got a hand throttle, but then you have the 2-speed axle on the side. And evidently I kicked it with my leg in high gear, and the wheels were turned. I was facing my ramp, but not perpendicular, not parallel, but perpendicular. The front wheels went up, the tractor hit that ramp and rolled right over on me with the trailer. It bent up the trailer. I got to fix the trailer at the hitch part. The rest of that trailer, you couldn't destroy it with a tank blast. But anyway, it ended up ripping my leg open. And I wanted to mention a state trooper, Jason Zoshak, who I said once before, I believe the man has a proper upbringing, and he has a human kinetics. You don't immediately like the guy because he is a cop, but he went out of his way to lock things up here for me. He tried to get Orange Cat, which Orange Cat refused to be arrested. He was not going to the pound that night, but no, the trooper was going to put him back in my house. But he closed up my customer's vehicle, and he looked in the ambulance at me. He says, "You're going to be all right, Tim." And that's my real first name. I was kind of touched, and I'm going to put a thank you in a card, maybe something else, because I'm used to cops being just garbage. But hopefully, as I said, the generations of these police in these area, they should live in the area. If you don't want to be a hated cop, don't be from out of town, and don't be a dick. Don't be an idiot. I'm expecting a customer is why I keep looking. And also a friend of mine, he's going to help me with the brakes in his car. So anyway, I don't hate the man. I have a very large distrust for police in general because of the happening in my life. But as far as calling that man overly decent, I'm sort of getting to trust him a little bit more. So he did do up and above his job, because he could have left things lay. He just got back in his car, but he seemed genuinely concerned, and that is something like a friend would do. So I have to put a thank you, and I already have what I wanted to say to him, and I'm just going to put it in an envelope and whatever. It's just a way of saying thank you, because I don't know the next time the guy's going to pop up. But as I said, he must have been raised decently to have human tact and compassion. It's not something I've seen with many police. So sorry, I'm still not up to it. I'm not feeling good to begin with, and then having my leg killing me. And I have not been able to do much videos anyway, because we're having these 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Not today. It's kind of on the mild side, so if you hear wind, it's nothing compared to the way it's been the last couple of days here. And I just wanted to formulate what I wanted to say about those EGR valves, you're going to drive yourself batshit crazy. And all it is a matter of a gasket or a bad valve, and or both. But make sure you get the FelPro gasket. If you get one in a box from CarQuest, AutoZone, throw it out, get a FelPro. That's all I can say. Now, I don't remember what brand. I think it was WVE or something like that, the brand that he brought me from O'Reilly's. It was not in an O'Reilly's box, and they had to order it. It took him 2 days with a bum gasket. The valve works. He drove off with the check engine light. I says, I know he lives quite a distance. He lives up above the mountaintop area here. And I know he's going to have to pull the hill and everything to go home. So if there's going to be anything wrong, the check engine light should have went on. But with the new part, the new EGR and gasket, it took over a week or so for it to come on. But I'm waiting, for him to report, because he just left here 2 days ago when I was still hobbling around pretty good. So my leg feels a lot better today, and I'm letting it breathe a little bit. The bandage just slid down. That's a product of the nurse where I was at, my doctor. And I'm just going to have to redo it my way tonight. So I got to get another bandage. I got to go over to Walmart. Thank you for watching my videos, and hopefully also remember to check those gaskets, especially if you change your engine out and you're having the check engine light come on. Check the flange gaskets at the manifolds, not the manifold gaskets to the engine. I'm talking to the pipe, that donut and that ring, because that's her other problem. That was the shop. Well, it's a combination that it didn't come in the Fleabay box, because I got the gaskets. I like those big 3 auto sets. I try to find them, but I don't get them that often anymore. You figure if they gave you a goddamn top end set, and they're giving you manifold gaskets, intake gaskets, why wouldn't they give you the exhaust donuts in the box? See, that's what I'm saying is what's going on with a lot of this stuff right now that I complain about. You don't get everything in the box. So you order the part, and you're expecting to do the job as a mechanic, and the rest of the shit ain't with it. Years ago, you could ask in the store, they had it there. Hey, are the gaskets with it? Now they're going to tell you, I got to order it, and they don't know. So I don't know how people were making any money fixing cars with the way things are. But that's why I work in my backyard, because I would never tolerate this stuff at a shop. And especially those guys working flat rate. When you get half of what you need, the boss thinks it's all there. You get up there, you get into the job, and you're not getting paid for it that week. That's bullshit. Start paying your mechanics by the hour again. And if you think you're going to get an auto mechanic for $15, $25 an hour, I got news for you. And these new vehicles, I know 2 people that bought new Fords and new Silverados. They've been at the dealer for months since they got them. They got them like last fall, and by the middle of the spring here, the last one fell. The other ones were at the dealer like last year, my dad's truck. Lucky he kept his old one. I'm just telling you, you don't want these new ones. You're not going to pile plastic crap on top of plastic crap and sensor on top of sensor. Now they got hood sensors, tailgate sensors. I remember when you used to stick a goddamn key in the truck. I had a 55, it was a 57 Chevy, the Apache. And I'm going down the road, and the fenders are flapping with the 283, and I'm slap shifting it, the 2-speed transmission I had in it. The thing, all I needed was the gas gauge and the oil light and the temperature gauge I had. Then I screwed those underneath the dashboard. You don't need all this crap on these trucks. You don't need your truck. I don't need an entertainment center in my dashboard. I'm entertained enough by my life's daily problems. I don't need daily problems in my vehicle when I climb in it. As a matter of fact, I like to forget about shit and go where I want to go and just forget about things for a while. I don't need a second asshole in my dashboard. But that's what the new vehicles become. A second asshole. When it goes off, you got to go, or the truck got to go. Ford, GM, Chrysler, all the rest of you. Toyota, it ain't the way to build a product. Nobody wants all that bullshit. Nobody wants all that emissions. These engines are pretty, I can get naturally aspirated, carbureted engines, just like my Ford there. There's no excess emissions, and it don't even have cats on it. You don't smell putrid fuel, and if you know how to tune an engine, and the engine ain't shot, you're going to pass emissions. Thank you for watching my programs. hopefully I got to some people with my message, and especially that state trooper. Like I said, I thought a lot of the man. Thanks for watching my videos.